Hi, hello there, this is Drake and you're joining me here up on Dartmoor, and today I wanted to take you to the woodland. So we've come to the woodland today because I'm going to be planting some potatoes. And you might think, why is he planting potatoes in a woodland? Well, it's a very good question. Potatoes generally like a lot of sunlight. However, I wanted to try something different, and for me, it's gardening is a little bit of an extension of who I am, and I am somewhat of an unconventional person. So hey, why not try planting potatoes in a more woodland environment? I am on the edge of the woodland, so it does get direct sunlight at least in the morning till around about 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. And the area that I'm actually planting in over here is a newly dug area. I needed to clear out some nettles, and I'm also growing some young osier willows which have been put in here. And I use osier willows all over the small holding. They're so great for growing beans up or weaving in and out of dead hedges and so on and so forth. So I thought this would be a good place to just try out and see what happens. So I've planted a couple of beds out already, but what I've done right now is I've dug myself a trench. And when I'm planting potatoes, I don't carry, like most things, and like most of us, we don't carry around measurements, we don't carry around rulers and so on. And so I get quite anatomical about how I plant things and decide how deep and how far apart to plant things. So my rule of thumb for potatoes is I plant the depth of my hand, and I plant a foot between each potato. And the potatoes we're using today are Cara potatoes and Bambino potatoes. And now there is a question, to chit or not to chit. Now, chitting is when you see tiny little sprouts appearing. I don't know if you can see it, but that little eye there, that is where there will be a growing point on your potato. I've got another one there, it's a rather larger one. And some people like to chit, some people don't. I have been trying to get these fellows to chit for a month now, and they've been very slow, so I decided I'm just going to put them in now. What you can do with them if you do want them to chit, and what's useful about doing that, is you can kind of rub off some of the chits, so you're concentrating the growing from just one particular point, and that does have some advantages in terms of your crop. But for our purposes today, they're going in mostly unchitted, and they're going to go in the ground here. Now, the ground isn't prepared as such. I've never grown potatoes in this area before, and it is important with potatoes to not plant them in the same place. At least give a couple of years between planting potatoes in the same place, because they are susceptible to diseases. However, planting in a woodland is one of the other reasons for, it's one of the reasons for planting in a woodland, really. It could help cut down diseases. That's my theory anyway, because you've got such wonderful interaction going on in the soil between all the other established plants and the trees, and they're transferring nutrients around. There's a wonderful mycelial network going on in there. I may have slightly disturbed it digging, but it will recover very quickly. So that is another reason I'm planting down here. I'm also planting down here because we've had an awful lot of droughts, and up here on Dartmoor, it can actually get very, very dry. So I thought, well, instead of planting everything in the sun, I'm going to try it in a slightly damper, cooler area that gets a little bit less sun, and just see what happens. So that's what we're going to do. So here's our potatoes, the Cara potatoes that I'm going to put in now. And we'll put one down here, and then there's a foot, a foot, a foot, and a foot. And then all I'm going to do is, with the soil here, I'm just going to crumble it over the top. And I'm also chucking out any bits of stone, or there's a big lump of couch grass which I don't really want, so that can go over there. So yeah, just crumble that over the top, and you're going to do that the whole length. And once you're done, or before you've done, what I've done is I've marked it with some pieces of stick. And the reason I've done that is because I'm planting in a slightly unorthodox space. I might forget where I've put them, so it's a helpful reminder for me where they are until they start sprouting out of the ground. And yeah, and that's really it. So I wish you much success with growing potatoes if that's what you'd like to do. And I thank you for lending your time to me today. And I hope you have a really fantastic day. And I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye bye.